I came to Ocracoke in '71 as a teacher here, and I totally fell in love with the place and the people and the beauty of it. And I left for about 5 years and I studied photography, and when I finished studying photography I thought, well, what do I want to say anything about now that I know how to talk with this particular art form? And I realized what I wanted to say something about was Ocracoke. Around the island I shoot, at this point I kind of shoot the major events. Somebody calls and says, somebody just caught a huge flounder, I'd get in my car and go get a shot. At the time that I was doing the book, I was actually trying to photograph everything and see what could tell the story of what Ocracoke looks like and feels like. It took me 7 years. I had saved $2,500 and I moved here for 5 months. Each morning I just set out with a backpack with my camera and some film in it, and then I would just see what happened, see where I went. And it was like an adventure every day. One day I'd end up in a boat, the next day I'd end up in an airplane, the next day I'd end up at somebody's house having lunch with them. And it was this incredible experience of getting to know the island like that, and the island just taking me in and showing itself to me. Photography for me is about seeing and being right in the moment. And if you're in the moment and you see the moment, you don't need 40 shots. There's just one where it all comes together. And I did the photo for the book. I was walking around the back side of the island and I bumped into a bunch of kids who were out skateboarding. And I said, hey, let's go over to Albert Stein's and do a picture. So we walked over here and they just jumped up on the porch and they all just took their position. I didn't tell anybody where to stand or what to do or anything. And they just took this position, and I love how comfortable they all looked there. And that's what I look for when I shoot people in the environment. How have they connected with it? How much do they fit? I did one shot in the book where a man is standing up and he just looks connected to his boat. Structurally, to me, he looked like he belonged there. And that's how I felt whenever I was in the boat riding with him to Portsmouth. He was part of the boat and part of the environment. What attracted me about this view of the photo that's in my book was actually the dog that came into the picture. I saw this scene, the street kind of framing life. It's just all set up for people to live and be in it. And I was walking down the street one day and I was carrying my camera, and as I came along here, this dog came running by. And I just loved it, because all the time on this street somebody's biking by or riding by or jogging through here or pushing a baby through here, and it's just it's all about community and all about life. And if you spend 15 minutes on this street, you'll see that happening. I feel like this street has so much magic to it, and it's like time slows down in here. Nobody's in a hurry coming through Howard Street. When I just look through my camera right here, I just see the total balance of the fence here, offset with the tree, the lane running through the middle. It's dynamic, but it has a balance to it. And that's what I would say about Ocracoke. It's dynamic, but I feel so much balance living here.
Working on a railroad for $1 a day. Working on a railroad for $1 a day. Working on a railroad, goodbye for $1 a day. Gotta get my money, gotta get my pay.
Down here, people are coming here on vacation. They're looking for things to do.
The island turns over every week.
So there's a new audience here every week, and it's been wonderful for our music.
Tell him I'm gone, tell him I'm gone. If he asks you, was I running? If he asks you, was I running? If he asks you, good buddy, was I running? Tell him I was flying, tell him I was flying.
There's this incredible natural beauty that's just so spiritually enhancing, you just can't escape it.
The natural beauty is just amazing, and I think it inspires a lot of people. But in the same respect, I was drawn and equally inspired by the artists here. You have people with PhDs alongside of everybody else that are cleaning cottages and working 5 jobs, but just to be in this environment.
It makes it very interesting because there's such a diverse group of people, but we're all crammed into such a tiny little place.
Now this year, Gary thought of the idea for the Ocracoke and to try to incorporate some of the local folks who may not have a chance to play for an audience that is really listening, which is the real advantage of Deepwater Theater. When I die, you can make my tombstone. Not a hole in the night, I'm a dying ghost. Roll on, buddy, don't know the door. How can I hold when you fall?
Everybody brings their
I
little
think it
touch.
gives it a real handmade kind of quality about it, you know. It's not slick at all. This is the first year that we've done this show here at Deepwater Theater, and we're excited about it. We're having fun with it, and we sure appreciate a great audience like you guys making it fun for us.
Well, some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away.
Connections that people have, they happen. You run into people here and you're inspired by people, and it's just amazing.
I remember one time I was really depressed about something. I don't even remember what it was. And I biked out to the beach, and there's a guy standing on the dunes playing bagpipes. And it was just so beautiful. It was like, God, am I in the most wonderful place on earth or what? And stuff happens here all the time. You just can't help being just swept up in the magic of it. You know, some of it's from the people that have been part of this place for hundreds of years, and some of it comes from the people who just happen to be passing through. And it's just such a tiny place, but it's just so miraculous.